Hi, it's me, Kimberley, and welcome to this new knitting podcast. Today I have two finished objects for you guys to show. One project that I want some advice on that needs a little upgrading and maybe some modifications. So I really need you for that one. And then we're gonna go over to my WIPS. And I have one acquisition that is soon going to be a WIP, but yeah, that's what I have in store for you today. Since I have uploaded my first knitting podcast, I have done some vlog style week of knittings. I did a spring knitting plans video and a knitting chat. So it was time for another knitting podcast, and I really wanted to update you on what I have been doing and what is going on knitting wise in my life. So welcome. If you are new here, yeah, my name is Kimberley. I live in Amsterdam, and welcome to this channel. And for returning viewers, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel or check out my Instagram where I keep you updated on my project and what is going on. But yeah, let's start the video. First finished object is my cloud sweater. This is a pattern by Petite Knit. I have knitted it on 4.5 millimeter needles. That is, I believe, a half millimeter size smaller than is recommended in the pattern. But I gauge swatched and both of them did not meet the gauge that was in the pattern. So I thought I'm just gonna go for what I think looks best, and that was the 4.5 millimeter, and as I did not meet the gauge, I went a size up. So I knitted size medium from the pattern, and it turned out as a size small as the gauge was not matching. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I've knitted this with a Snefnug yarn in a lilac, hold it together with a knitting for olive soft silk mohair strand. I in the end needed to order one extra ball of Snefnug to finish this sweater, as I knitted the arms quite long. I know for myself that I have quite long arms, so most of the time I have to add some extra compared to what the pattern recommends. What do I have on this pattern? As you can see, I did not go for the rolled over sleeve edges. I just binded them off with a half millimeter bigger needles, as I'm really tight knitter and my bind offs are also very tight. So I did that. For the body, I did that as well, but then I went up a whole needle size, as I did want the rolled over edge at the bottom because yeah, I like that look as well. However, for the sleeves I didn't want it, so that's why I changed it for the sleeve. And for the neckline, I first did a stretchy bind off and then didn't like the look of it, took it apart, and then did it with one needle size bigger, so 5.5 to do the bind off, and now it rolls over nicely and I really like it. I've worn it a lot already, also because here the weather is kind of cold again, so I have been wearing it a lot just in the house or outside. So, and it's also very, because I knitted it on 4.5 millimeter, it's very dense, so it's very warm. So I'm also able to just wear it outside as a sort of jacket, so I don't have to wear something over it. But yeah, I really like the look of it. I really like the color. I had a lot of fun knitting this project. Went quite fast once I put my focus to this project. But yeah, if you want a simple sweater with some details that like is not that complicated, I would definitely recommend this pattern. Yes, I had a lot of fun knitting this one. Would definitely recommend. And I mean, this color is perfect and it fits in my wardrobe. 10 out of 10. Very happy with it. Second finished object is totally different, but we finally made it. My Moby Slipover, also by Petite Knit. This was something different. This took me quite a while. I've casted this on in the last week of 2023, so in December, and I've finished it in April. So I've been on my needles for quite a while. This is the most difficult thing I have ever knitted, probably. I don't know. It was, I think, because of the charts, and I did make some mistakes in the beginning by reading the charts from the wrong side. Made some mistakes, tried to fix them, but didn't really know how to fix it, and that made me have to rip back quite a few times and then start over again, so that cost a lot of time. Also, it was really hard on my hands. I don't know what happened, maybe because of how tight I was knitting, and also because of all the cabling, that it was really, I don't know, not stressful, but like I found myself really grabbing on tight, and I even sort of got an injury on my forearm, which you normally have with like clicking your mouse for the computer. And it hurt like crazy. And first I was like, why is that hurting so bad? Is it from work, or what is it? But then I found out it was because of this bad boy. But yeah, after I put it aside for a while and my arm hurted less, I was able to then again pick it up and finish it. I finished it, 2 weeks ago, 1.5 week ago, something like that. I blocked it. It did grew a bit, but not that much. Also because this one is again quite tightly knitted. I've knitted it on 3.5 millimeter needles, and I think that's the suggested needle in the pattern. However, I did not gauge watch for this one. I just went for it. I made a size small, as I did not want a oversized garment. I wanted it quite tight fitting. And I bought the recommended yarn, and it was not enough. I had to buy a whole extra hank. So it's like 100 grams more than what was suggested, probably because it was knitted up so tight. But I overall really like the look of it. It's a bit on the short side, as I turned into the problem of not having enough yarn and did not again want to buy a whole new 100 grams. So I took apart the folded neckline of the garment to get some extra yarn to then add it into the ribbing of the body. I did go for twisted ribs. I really like that look. I believe that was not in the pattern, so that's what I did different. What I did different is that the back is not the same as the front. That was a mistake I made in the beginning, and I did not want to do it all over again, so I just went for it. And I have been wearing it already a couple of times. So also again, very successful project. It's knitted up in the Finnwool from Mominoki, and I really like it. It's a bit on the neck. If you don't wear anything under it, it can be quite itchy, but not really bad. I think it depends on the day how I'm feeling, because sometimes I'm more itchy than other days. I would really like to knit something else in this yarn. I mean, I do have to check how it holds over time with pilling and everything, but it feels quite rustic, so I don't know. I think we'll be fine. And you don't have the sleeves, so I think it will pill less than that you have with long sleeves, but yeah, again, very happy with this one. Probably gonna wear it a lot. First, I had some doubts on how it was going to fit in my wardrobe and if I would actually grab it to wear. But as I finished it, I've worn it like 3 or 4 times. So that's promising for the future. So I think it will be used a lot. So let me go over to a project that needs some extra love. Some finishing touches that is maybe gonna make it that I do wear the garment because now I'm not, and that's kind of sad because it took me a lot of time to make. So the Maude T pattern is also by Petite Knit. I think I've knitted this almost a year ago. I was sitting home alone when my boyfriend was in the States for a couple of months. I did not have a job, just finished my master's, and did not have any money to buy expensive yarn. So I got yarn for my birthday, and it is from Drops. I've knitted it up in Drops, Merino, extra fine. It's a super wash. I don't know what happened, or I've knitted it up so tight or not with the right needles, but it really got like the V's are gone. So you have one row that looks almost as a straight line and the other one like a twisted. So there is no visible V. So that makes it look a bit weird. Also for the double knitting on the button band, you had to do extra rows. I don't know why. It was the first time I'm doing that. But now you can really see that it's like bumpy. And I don't like that. However, that's not the worst of it. I had to do double folded cuffs and also on the body. And I did not do them loose enough. So they're very tight around my arms, and I also did not pick up the right stitches for the right row. So it's wonky. I you can probably see it on the body where you can see those folds. That's because I did not do it the right way. However, that resulted in me wearing this maybe 2 times in the past 1.5 years. So, or even more, almost 2 years maybe. And I think that's kind of sad. I bought buttons, never put them on because, yeah, I don't know, it's not the vibe. I bought buttons in Italy when we were on vacation in this super cute store. They were quite expensive. But hell, yeah, sort of as a remembrance of vacation as well. I will show you. I bought these ones. I don't know if it's going like on the camera. Yeah, I've never put them on. And I would just like to hear your opinion. How can I do these? Can I just take them apart, do it over again? And I didn't really mind for the sleeves, but for the body it's a long way to go, and I did not like that at all. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Should I take it apart and do like just a normal rib and then leave it at that and hope that I wear it? Or yeah, so please leave down in the comments what you think I should do, or if you have any tips, or I would love to hear it, because I feel kind of sad that it's just laying in my closet, and I look at it from time to time and think, oh, I should do something with it, but I don't. So it could use some extra love. So that's going on the pile as well. And then we move over to WIPS Works in progress. And I have a new whip. And it's sort of matching what I'm wearing. And if you have watched my spring knitting plans video or my latest knit and chat, you know what I'm talking about. My Daydreamer Cardigan from Kuto Fakika. This is how far I've got in, I think, this week. I think I started it this week on like last Sunday, and it's now Sunday. So yeah, about a week. I've contemplated on knitting this Daydreamer cardigan or the honey cardigan, but somebody tipped me that the honey cardigan was pieces knitted up, so the front panel, the back panel, and the arms, and then you have to sew everything together. And I've done that once and since I learned to knit in the round I've never done that again. So I thought, okay, the Daydreamer cardigan is just a raglan, let's go for that one. In the pattern, you knit it up with a strand of whatever you want like a DK or Aran, I believe, and then you hold it together with a silk mohair. Or she also says you can just go for one strand but then like a Aran or worsted weight. So I did that because I just knitted up my cloud sweater in Snefnug hold together with a soft silk mohair. And I sort of envisioned this thing as airy, fluffy, and I thought I just gotta knit it up with Snefnug in a funky color. So that's what I did. It's the Lice Rosa color, I believe. I really like it. It's lovely. It feels very soft and airy, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. However, I again did not meet gauge. Seems like a always problem. I've never had that is like spot on, but I tried it out with the recommended needles, then went up to 5.5. However, I didn't really like how that was laying in my hands, and I also did not meet gauge that with going up half a needle size. With going up half a needle size. So again, I was not meeting gauge. So then I was calculating it again and how many centimeters I would miss if I knitted it up with this gauge, and it would turn out around 10 centimeters smaller overall. So I then again went up a needle size and size. So I, instead of knitting up the small, I am knitting up the medium, but then it turns out as the small. So I thought, okay, let's just go for that, and it seems like a plan. However, I did also not meet row gauge, and with raglan, of course, it's a bit different. So in the end, to meet sort of the right amount under my armpit, I had to do an extra increase. But with the fisherman's rib, you increase 2 at a time, so you turn up with a lot more stitches. So now I'm at the stitch amount of the large, so it will turn out as a medium now, at least, because I started the top as a medium and now I'm under the armpits as a large. But yeah, let me sort of, I can put it on like this. You have to sort of imagine that I'm gonna get the button band as well, so it will turn out a bit bigger than this. Yeah, and I'm not sure. So what I'm thinking is I am going for around 4 rounds, so that's like eight rows, so 4 V's in the half fisherman's rib. Gonna decrease on both sides here, so then I'm sort of shaping the body again, so it turns out smaller as the medium size stitches, and then it will turn out as the width of a small. Okay, that sounds so complicated, but I hope you understand what I mean. I did not expect that, and also I'm gonna have to buy extra yarn. I added, this is like 3 bowls of the Snefnug, and this is not a cardigan. And I've ordered like 9, so I sort of have to calculate how much I am gonna need extra and then order it, because I don't want to end up in the situation that I can not buy this yarn anywhere. So that is sort of the plan, I guess. Maybe I can buy it at my yarn shop here in Amsterdam, because they have a policy that if they're in the same state as you bought them, you can return them within a set amount of time. So that's what I'm probably going to do, but I'm really loving it so far. I've not knitted on 5mm needles for a long time, so it's going by quite fast. The fabric feels beautiful. It's sort of hard to add in new balls of yarn, so I'm sort of trying. The first one I added in with like twisting it, then knitting a couple of stitches double, and then it's secure. However, you can see it on the other side, at least I can. Maybe it will go away with blocking, but now I'm trying the split splice method, and it's not really going that well, because I'm like pulling them apart, putting them in the water, try to get them together, but because of it's like a blown yarn, you have this cotton chain and it's not really sticking together. So that's the only thing that's sort of a hassle, but I'm liking it. I can't wait for it to be done so I can wear it. But yeah, that's my new WIP and it's going great so far. Then another WIP that I've shown you in my other podcast as well. Let me check it on my notes, because I'm always messing up this name. It's the Stockholm Sweater by Petite Knit. And last time I showed you, it was a bit shorter, I believe. And I've added in the neckline. So that's most of the progress I made. I did the neck. And it's kind of bulky. I did not expect that. It was quite a lot of rows as well. And I don't know, once I folded it over, I was like, whoa, that feels thick and fluffy. But yeah, we will see. It was a pain in the ass to do this, because it's super thin, and with all the mohair fluffs, and then it's also a super dark color, so the lighting had to be just right, and I really had to focus in seeing what I was doing, because you had to fold over, then knit it together with the pickup line, and then do like the chain, so you bind off, knit them together and bind off at the same time. It's a very nice method, but I did not like it on this yarn. So I'm just hoping that once it's done, I am happy with how the neckline looks, so I don't have to do it over again. But yeah, I'm also, if I'm seeing it like this, it's super bulky, and I don't know if it's will lay nice on my neck and everything, so we'll have to see. And then I've just continued knitting on the body, and this is the first project where you do decreases to shape the body, so I wonder how that's going to turn out with this one, and if it's really going to show that it's like more going with the shape of the body, like the waistline and then to the hips. So not a lot of progress, but yeah, I thought I'm just gonna show you anyway. If you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you did not see my latest podcast, it is knitted up in an Isager soft silk mohair or mohair, silk mohair in the color 34, the same as Petite Knit has on her website for this pattern. I like it. You hold 2 strands together, and I'm really loving that it's quite small in size and not as heavy, so I can easily take it with me. So yesterday we had some family day, and then I could just easily pop this in a backpack, and it's not heavy at all, and I'm able to knit in it, like in the car and everything. So yeah, it's sort of a project that I have on the side and knit on time to time. And then another WIP that I'm going to show you very short because not a lot of progress has been made. And that's the twist loop top from, showed you that as well the last time. And I folded over the neckline, and here I am doing the tedious work of doing the folding over, digging it together, and then chaining it off. And I have to really look out that I'm not doing it too tight, because it's sort of a thing that all my garments are very tight over my head. Maybe I have a big head, or maybe I just knit it too tight. But yeah, that's basically everything that I've done. I did not even finish it because, well, it's not the most fun job to do. But yeah, that's what is going on. I did not start my boyfriend's socks, and I also did not finish my second Sunday sock. So there's no progress there, so not worthy of showing, basically. And then the last thing. I am actually not sure if this has been, no, this only has been in my spring knitting plans video. So I'm going to show you. I talked about wanting to do a top, but not with a summery yarn. So still with like a woolly yarn. But I wanted to go out of my comfort zone and go for something speckly, stripy. Because, I mean, I've stepped out of the natural earth tones to pinks and lilacs. But I did not go over to speckles or stripes or anything. So I thought a basic top that's just stockinette on quite a small needle size. I have to make myself enthusiastic. Let's do something that's fun knitting up and variegating, so it keeps me engaged in the project, hopefully. So I've been to the yarn shop a couple of weeks ago. I've bought this beautiful Olivia and Oliver fibers. These are hand-dyed in the Netherlands, and normally she does a shop update and you can order them, and then you get she sends them out, but that way you're not able to see how they look, or you just have to do it from the pictures at the website, which is fine. However, I was just too scared, so I did not do that until here in Amsterdam, Stephen and Penelope had a special drop from her, so they were in store. So I bought this beautiful yarn. It is, well, let me check, in the colorway Antique Rose. Again, we're into the pinks and lilacs, but with some speckly orange as well. And it is 100% blue-faced Leicester. I'm gonna search for a picture or anything because I don't have the clue of what that is. It's a 4-ply, 400 meters, 400 grams. So I should have enough for the top with this 2 skeins. Hanks. I'm always, what is the right word? Every time I look it up on the internet and then I'm like, what was it again? 5 minutes later, I forgot the name. But this yarn is going to be a camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I just have to wind up the yarn and then sit for an afternoon or plan a day that I'm going to cast on, because I saw some videos on that it's different constructed. Normally you start with like the back, but now I heard in some podcast videos that you do the front first. But yeah, we'll have to see. I think it will be fine, but always when I cast off on a new project, I want to have some chill time and do it the right way and be in the moment instead of having to rush it or anything. So that's one of my plans, and that's going to happen fast, I hope, I believe, because I think I'm allowed to have another WIP. And I also want to cast on some new socks because I haven't done really a lot of sock knitting, and I still have also from Olivia and Fibre a really nice sock yarn laying around that I want to cast on. But yeah, you just have 2 hands and not more, so I have to do with what I can. Yes, I think after this I don't have anything else. I did not buy other stuff or yarns, and I did not cast anything on except for what I've shown you. So I hope you like this knitting podcast and my other videos. As I said in the beginning of the video, if you like to be updated, check out my Instagram, Knits.by.Kim, and subscribe on my channel, and then you get a notification when I put out a new video. And I wish you a lovely morning, evening, at whatever time you're watching this, and thank you for sticking up with me till the end of this video, and I hope I see you next time. So bye.
Wish I